the gong. And today's practice, strangely, is going to start lying down, which is very unusual for me. So, come to lying in corpse pose. Take a moment to settle yourself. And when you're on the floor, extend your right heel and relax and release, and extend your left heel. And then extend your right heel and extend your left heel. And once more each side, extending your right heel and then extending your left heel. And then very gently let your head turn to the left as you breathe in. And then breathe out as you turn your head to the right. Into the left. And out as you go to the right. And again, breathing in as you turn your head to the left. And breathing out as you turn to the right. Bring your head back to center. Breathing in, extend your right heel and raise your right arm up above you, stretching into your right foot and stretching up above. And then as you start to breathe out, lower your arm and just relax your right foot. And now as you breathe in, extend your left heel and your left arm up above you. Stretch, and then breathing out, release and lower your left arm back down to the ground. Extend your right heel and your right arm again as you raise your right arm up. This time keep your arm here as you breathe out and turn your head to the left away from your right arm. Breathing in to bring your head back to center, and breathing out, lower your right arm and relax your right leg. And breathing in, extend your left foot and your left arm up above you, relaxing your left arm. And as you breathe out, turn your head away from your left arm towards the right. Breathe in as you bring your head back to center. And breathe out as you lower your left arm. Just circle your ankles a couple of times in one direction. And then circle your ankles a few times in the other direction. And then just stretch your toes and release and relax them. Keeping your elbows on the ground, just raise your hands and circle your wrists a few times in one direction. And then circle your wrists a few times in the other direction. And relax your hands back down alongside you. Keeping your right leg where it is, although you do have the option to bend it and put your foot on the ground, hug your left knee into your chest. So here you have also the option to bend your right knee and have your right foot on the floor. So you choose which version appeals to you and feels good. Holding your left knee into your chest, just circle your left knee a few times in one direction. And then circle your left knee a few times in the other direction. And then hugging your left knee still into your chest, roll your entire body over to the right. And have your left hand resting on your left waist. And your right hand will come to the outside thigh of your left leg. And you can turn your head slightly to the left, either looking up or a little bit more along the floor, keeping your eyes either open or closed. And your right leg is extended along the floor, even to the point where you extend your left heel a little bit, your right heel a little bit. Take an in and an out breath here. Just engage your lower abdominal muscles slightly and then roll back. Hug your left knee in towards your chest one more time. And then return your left leg to the floor, stretching it out along the floor. And bring your attention to your right leg as you bend your right knee, hugging your right knee into your chest. You can have the option of bending your left knee and putting your left foot on the ground. Your choice. Just very gently circle your right knee a few times in one direction. And then circle your right knee a few times in the other direction. And then hugging the right knee into the chest, roll your entire body, including lifting your right hip off the ground, towards the left. Your right hand stays on your right waist and your left hand goes somewhere along the outer edge of your right thigh. If you had a bolster or a cushion, you could use that to support your right knee, but not necessary. And then gently turn your head to look either up to the right or along the floor to the right, and your eyes can be open or closed in this reclining twist. And breathing in and out. And then very gently roll onto your back. And then hug one knee in and then the other knee in. So both knees are hugged into your chest. And then just very gently rock from side to side. Massaging across your lower back and the upper part of your sacral area. And then just very gently come to take your time to roll to the side. You might like to choose to go roll to the right. We're going to come up to a seated position. You can also opt to rock up. Again, it's your choice as to what you might like to choose. And we're going to come to a seated position, cross-legged position. And just very gently come to hold either your knees or just below your knees as you sit up and breathing out round your back, chin to chest. Breathing in, sitting up. And breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Breathing in, sitting up. And breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Breathing in, sitting up, and breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Come back to neutral, sitting up, and turn to face over your right knee. And then just walk your hands slightly out, not a lot. Try and keep your left hip on the ground. You're only going to come a little further forward, just leaning slightly over your right knee. And just take an in and an out breath. You can place your left hand on your right knee and your right hand just slightly behind you so that it comes almost into a slight rotation. And then very gently breathing in, come up. Hold both knees with both hands as you sit up. And very gently turn over to face your left knee, walking your hands slightly forward, coming forward. And you have the option to hold your left knee with your right hand and bring your left hand slightly behind you to turn a little bit more to the left. Again, this is an option. And just breathing in and out. And then come to the center, hands on both knees as you sit up. Lift and roll your shoulders. Extend your left hand out as you slide it along the mat away from you, and bring your right hand up and over. So this becomes a lateral movement, opening the right side of your body. Your chin tucks in, so that the back of the neck here remains long. Take an in and an out breath. Tummy in as you press your left hand down and slide upright, lowering your right hand to the ground. And then sliding your right hand out away from you as you tilt over to the right, lifting your left arm up. Palm can face down, chin tucks in. You can either look under your left arm, look up to the ceiling. Again, it's your choice. And take an in and an out breath here. And then to come out, you might like to look towards your right hand, pressing down with your right hand and coming to upright. Hands either side of you to lengthen your spine. And just here, turn your head to the left as you breathe in, and turn to the right as you breathe out. Left as you breathe in, and right as you breathe out. And now we're going to come to our hands and knees, taking our time to come to tabletop. So the hands will be shoulder width apart, engaging the fingers, spreading the fingers, thumb and second fingers engaging, and the knees are hip width apart. So coming to tabletop, as you sway your bottom from side to side, just activating energy in your lower abdominal area. And then very gently come to the centre, and as you breathe in, it's cat, dipping your back and either looking up or along the mat. And breathing out, round your back, your chin comes to your chest, activating the vagus nerve, so decreasing inflammation. Breathing in, dipping your back, cat. And breathing out, rounding your back, chin to chest, cow. And again, just repeat this a couple of more times in your own time. You're warming the spine, warming the body through moving the spine very gently. And next time you come to round your back and your chin comes to your chest, tuck your toes, tummy in, and come to a soft dog. You can keep your knees bent. Your bottom goes away from you high, taking the weight away from your hands and wrists. And then begin to straighten your legs and feel that you can adjust your feet to wider than hip width apart if that feels good for you. And begin to walk the dog by bending one knee and then the other knee as you sway very gently from side to side. And then very gently come to extend both legs. Your heels, of course, don't have to touch the ground, and you can always still keep your knees bent. And begin to walk very gently your feet towards your hands and your hands towards your feet as you come to a forward fold, bending your knees. You can hug your elbows or just let your hands touch your feet, and then very gently come to roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. So this is a mindfulness practice. So awareness of moment to moment as we move. And come to stand, palms up. Just gently shift weight from foot to foot as you sway. You'll find that you have a natural movement, a natural swirl. Even if you try and stand still. Just check your position by tensing your knees and releasing them. Holding your hips to lengthen you. You'll find that this lifts you up the chest a little bit more. Lifting and rolling your shoulders, setting your shoulders back down away from the ears and releasing tension from the neck and the shoulders. And then just very gently turning your head from side to side. You can step your feet out a little bit to hip width apart as we come to a very familiar movement, swaying from side to side. Moving all 5 energies through the body. And again, you've got a choice here to move a little bit, or increase the movement by swaying from side to side and even touching your shoulders. This comes into the Yantra Yoga, which is the medicine side of Tibetan yoga. And then begin to slow the sway down and come to standing still. You can adjust your feet so you're comfortable hip width apart. And this time raise your arms up, touching or interlocking the thumbs, and repeat that sway to sway, which becomes swaying palm. For anyone interested in Ayurveda, this is a Vata movement. So strangely, it's very good for pain in the body, although we classically think of relieving pain as hugging the knees into the chest. This is another Vata movement. And again, you're moving from side to side, so you're balancing the weight in your pelvis, but also you're beginning to move as you go from side to side to balance the brain hemispheres. Not massively, but just a little bit. And then come to the centre and bring your palms together. Breathing out, bring them through to the heart centre and carrying on down, bend your knees. Bringing the palms of your hands to the floor or to your shins. Breathing in, lengthening, so you have a flat back from tailbone to the top of the head. Breathing out, bend your knees. Press your feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Raising your hands up above you, interlocking your fingers. Almost come slightly into a back bend. And then come back to the centre, palms together, and once more bring your palms through the centre, coming back to having the palms at the heart centre, and then carry on, bending your knees as you roll down, touching your fingers to the floor or to your shins, breathing in, lengthening along your spine, flat back, breathing out, bending your knees, softening your elbows, pressing your feet into the ground as you roll up vertebra by vertebra. Hands up
Interlock the thumbs, come to a back bend again, slightly going backwards. Come upright to the centre, palms together. And one last time as we bring the palms through the centre of the body, rolling down vertebra by vertebra, touching our fingers to the floor or to our shins, breathing in flat back, lengthening from tailbone to the top of the head, breathing out, bending your knees, softening your elbows, pressing your feet down as you come up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And lift and roll your shoulders, and once more turn your head from side to side. Breathing in, circle your hands up, clasp, reverse them upwards, palms upwards, and test our balance by lifting the heels. You can refine that by lowering your heels and keeping them a millimetre off the ground, and then breathing out, lower the heels and bring your hands to shoulder height. Breathing in, turning your head to the left, looking beyond your third finger. Breathing out, head goes to the right, looking beyond the third finger of the other hand. Once more, breathing into the left and breathing out to the right. Lower your hands and place them on the waist, opening your elbows out, giving space for your lungs. Breathing in, turning your head to the left, and breathing out, turning your head to the right. Once more, breathing in to the left, and breathing out to the right. Come to the centre. Release your hands, bring your hands to the heart centre, bring your hands forward, and then just bend your knees and come back to the mat. We're going to be coming to bridge pose, or a variation of bridge pose. So, lying on your back, knees bent, feet hip width apart. Hands, palms down alongside you. And we're just going to introduce the first part of the bridge movement by doing a pelvic tilt, flattening your back as if you're going to lift your bottom and then releasing back down to the ground so that you've got a little gap under your back. Again, pressing your back, lower back into the ground as if you're going to lift your bottom and then just release and relax. Just clasp your hands before we go into bridge under your head. Elbows are out wide, and breathing out, just slightly lift your head up, supporting the back of your neck. Breathing out, relax your head back down again. Breathing out, just lift your head, supported under the back of the head and neck as you lift up a little bit. And breathing out, release back down again. Final time, as you lift up, slightly bring your elbows together and just roll from to the right and to the left so that your elbow leads. Your head is slightly off the ground and you're just almost pressing one shoulder and lifting the other. Coming back to the centre and then lifting the other elbow as you go over to the other side. Come back to the centre and release your head back down to the floor. Release the hands and bring your palms back to that bridge position, palms down alongside you. Feel that you can adjust your feet and pressing your feet down, lift your bottom, raise your arms up above you, the elbows can be bent, chin comes into the chest. And then breathing out, lower your arms and your back, vertebra by vertebra, back to the ground. And when your bottom is fully on the ground, hug your knees into your chest. Extend both feet up to the ceiling. Your legs are open naturally in a V.
extend your heels. Bring the palms of your hands together through that V, and depending on your neck capacity, you can either just lift your head up or drop a hand behind your head and neck to support you, and just bring one hand through, otherwise bring both hands through. Breathing out, bring your head back down to the ground. Bend both knees, hugging them into the chest, and then bring both feet back down to the ground, palms down. When you're ready, press your feet into the ground, lift your bottom. Feel that someone is almost holding your legs, that they're not tracking out. Raise your arms above your head, chin in, stretch above you. Then start to breathe out, and your arms and lowering your back, bottom back down to the ground will naturally follow the breath. When your bottom's on the ground, hug your knees into your chest, soles of the feet to the ceiling, extend your heels in that V, palms together, either lifting your head up, or if that's too much for your neck, just take a hand behind to support your head and neck. Breathing out, lower your head to the ground. Bend your knees in, hugging both knees in towards you, and then both feet, one after the other, goes back onto the ground. And then last time, palms down, press your feet down, lift your bottom, lift your arms, chin tucks into the chest, stretching up behind you. And then start to breathe out, finding that your arms and back will naturally follow the breath movement and come down of their own accord, almost. And then hugging your knees into your chest. Soles of the feet to the ceiling, extend both heels, palms together, either lifting your head without support or taking the support of a hand. Breathing out, blowing your head back down to the ground and hugging your knees into your chest, just rocking very gently from side to side. And here you can extend that rocking side to side as an option to come for a few breaths into happy baby. So holding the soles of the feet, knees aimed to the ground, and just gently rocking from side to side. And then release, hugging your knees back into your chest once more, rocking from side to side. And then bring your feet to the floor. Hands can rest palms down alongside you or on your abdomen. And just let your knees rock from side to side in a windscreen wiper movement. You can lift your hips off the ground. Bring your knees to the center, and then once more hug your knees into your chest and roll over onto the side. We're going to come up, taking our time to a seated position. So this is a variation on Sphinx pose, but we're going to do it seated. So come to have your legs out in front of you. Just lift the flesh out from underneath you if you need to do that. And as you know, a Sphinx pose is lying on your abdomen with your elbows out in front of you. So this mimics that for the lower back. Just extend your toes upwards. Your feet can be together or hip width apart. Lift and roll your shoulders and just relax your hands. Fingers can be pointing forward, but this is very much a therapy base, so you can relax your hands however you want to behind. If you press your hands down, you'll lift your chest and carry on with that lift
as you lift your chin up towards the ceiling, looking up. So you'll see that you are, if you lift your chest and your hands go slightly back behind you, you're almost putting yourself into a back bend. We're not going to stay here for too long. The chin lifting up and lifting the eyes upwards disconnects the eyes from the stress centers of the brain. So it becomes a mindfulness exercise, but it's important to lift the chin with awareness and not too far, just raising your eyes. Taking a breath here, in and out. And then release, coming back. And this time, come to have your legs open in a V. Just check the flesh out from under your bottom. Extend both heels, and your hands just touch either side. Turn to your right outstretched leg and walk your hands either alongside the right leg, or you can slide your hands down your right shin. Just have a sense of lengthening your spine from the tailbone to the top of the head, and then you can round afterwards. So breathing in, you lengthen your spine, pressing your hands down, and breathing out, you can just round over. And when you're comfortable and you've found your level, you can stay here. If you want to make it super relaxed, you can turn your palms upwards. It's your choice. Try and keep the left bottom cheek on the ground. If you lift up too much, you're slightly unbalanced. It is difficult, I do agree. And just stay here. You're opening the groin, the immune system at the lower lymph level. This becomes a forward bend, which is calming for the nervous system, and it's a rotation as well. It would be a variation on a pose called head to knee pose, or Janusarsasana. And then very gently walk your fingers up as you come to upright. Come to the center. Just touch your hands either side of you again, just to lengthen in your spine. And then turn to your outstretched left leg. Again, walking your hands down either side of your left leg, or on top of your left leg along the left shin. Once you feel you've got to where you're comfortable, just slightly engage your fingers to lengthen you from the bottom of your spine to the top of the head. And then breathing out, just relax over that outstretched left leg. Each time you breathe in, just lengthen the spine, and then breathe out, just come forward. And when you're happy, just settle here in a forward relaxed bend. Your hands can be, as I said, either side of your left leg. They can be on top of your left leg, your left shin, or they can be upturned in a very relaxed position. You're starting to calm the nervous system. Back of the neck is long. The vagus nerve is beginning to be activated. The chin coming to the chest activates an energy lock. It's called bandha, and this bandha is called Jalandhara bandha. So you're beginning to activate that. And then just very gently walk your fingers up so that you come upright. Turn your body to come to the center. Slightly soften and bend your knees to bring them together, and then stretch your legs out once more in front of you. Your feet can be together or just a little comfortable way apart. And this then becomes a very classic forward bend. Just touch your hands either side of you, just to lengthen your spine. And then just very gently walk your hands down the front of your legs. Coming to rest where it feels good, lengthening your spine and then just relaxing forward. And you can perhaps hold the outside of your feet, or you can hold your big toes, or just hold your shins, or your hands on the outside of the legs, or your palms can be up. Just choose a forward movement that's comfortable for you. And then very gently slide your hands up, coming to upright. Bend your knees, and in your own time come to lying with your knees bent, feet hip width apart. Have your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Your hands can be palms down or resting on your abdomen. And just let both knees drift over to the right, lifting your left hip off the ground. And gently turn your head to the left, away from your knees to the right. Taking an in and an out breath. Very gently and in your own time, bring your knees to upright, rolling back to the center. Bring your head back to the center, and then let both knees drift over to the left, lifting your right hip, and turn your head towards the right, either eyes closed, looking up or along the mat. Again, you choose, eyes open, it doesn't matter. Very gently come back to the center, and now either come to rest in Shavasana or corpse pose, or you can have your knees bent if you prefer. You can have a bolster under your knees, or you can even have your knees touching in constructive rest. Just for a few minutes, a short while, to let the movement that we've made reabsorb back into your body. And I'm just going to go through. So there's nothing for you to do, just enjoy the sound. The koshis go through the elements, and the elements do relate to the body, but there are only 4 koshis, earth, water, fire and air, but air comprises or includes ether in it, so that covers the upper chakras. So we start with the base earth chakra, earth koshi representing the base earth chakras. And we move on to the water element that moves up slightly, linking into the lower abdominal area, our kidneys as well. And from the water central element, we move a little bit higher in the body, lifting the digestive system. It correlates to the samana energy, one of the 5 energies, and that's the fire element. Incidentally, the fire element links also to our eyes, strangely enough. Digestion and fire, but eyes as well. And then as we go through the body towards the heart and higher, we come into the element of air. It's a lighter essence, connected with our hearing and our expression, our communication, our minds, our thoughts. And air also incorporates ether. And we'll finish with air and water. They combine nicely together in the sound. And to focus the mind in an aid to a brain kriya. This is sound just to bring us back to where we are. And there's no need to do anything. You can stay exactly where you are or come to a seated position, entirely up to you. But wherever you are, just take a mental bow for yourself. You can just also bring your thumbs to your forehead, lifting your elbows, but just take a mental bow for yourself. For a very lovely day for yourself and anyone that you wish to have a lovely day. Just have that thought and mentally repeat it, and it's set, your intention is set for the day. So taking that mental bow for yourself. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. Have a lovely day ahead.